Well, hello and welcome to a new edition of Will I Buy It? I would first like to apologize for the ever-changing backdrop. It is still a work in progress, but we're getting there. So without further ado, let's check out together the newest releases and discuss it. Let's go! First, from Alamar Cosmetics, we have Lip Care Meets Glam, a rich liquid lip balm formulated with the best moisturizing and skin nourishing ingredients. Features a smooth pearl-like finish. You have 4 shades. The Corazon one looks really pretty, especially I'm guessing that they used a darker liner, and I specifically like that combo. I don't have easy access to Alamar Cosmetics here in Belgium. Even if I did, I don't really know that brand, so I don't know that it's something I would go for, but they look pretty. Next up, we have from ColourPop, the palette, the Mega Eyeshadow Palette, Your Golden. 30 shades full of warm neutrals with a diverse range of matte and metallic finishes to achieve the ultimate summery and sexy look. I've never tried ColourPop eyeshadows except for a couple of the Super Shock shadows. I would love to. And I don't really know if there's that much of a difference between the bigger palettes and the smaller ones in terms of formula. This one I like. It's not, I mean, it's a neutral palette, but I feel like it's something that could be easy to use because you have a bunch of transition shades, you have warm, you have cool, you have a bit of everything. And there's this blue pop up there that really catches my eye, which it's funny because I believe it's last week in a Jouer eyeshadow palette, there also was a light blue shade like this that I immediately was attracted to, and I don't usually do blue eyeshadows. It just doesn't really look good on me. Now I'm thinking, because it's the second palette with that kind of a color that I'm like, oh my god, I'm so attracted to this. I think maybe this week I might want to try a look with a color like this. But back to the ColourPop palette, there's also a coral shade here that looks pretty. There's a few pops of color that make this palette interesting in my opinion. Next up, we have the Puff Paint Liquid Blush Serum by Natasha Denona. Natasha Denona, every time she does something, I'm curious because her eyeshadow formula is so amazing that I'm always kind of thinking, what can she do in other areas? I would love to try more liquid and cream products when it comes to blushes and bronzers. So honestly, yeah, I'm kind of curious about. Next up, for a limited time, you have the Bum Bum Sol Oil SPF 30. It's a shimmering body oil with sunscreen SPF 30 by Sol de Janeiro. I believe we all know by now my obsession for Sol de Janeiro scent. Honestly, if I could have my whole life smell like this, I would. So yes, I want this. I want everything that they release with that scent. I want it. Just simple as that. I don't know how much I'm gonna need a body oil with a sunscreen this summer. We'll see. But even if I don't actually need it that much, I just want to smell it. So yes to Sol de Janeiro, always. We then have a new Lip Suede Le Nude lip palette by Westman Atelier. So this is a clean, customizable, everyday lip color palette that includes 4 nude shades in Warm Rose, Peony, Café Crème, and Mulled Wine. It's $85. I know Westman Atelier is not cheap. It looks like it's a bit moussey or powdery. It's a little weird. They say suede, so yes, I'm guessing it's gonna be kind of a powdery texture, but then it kind of looks a bit shimmery. So I can't really make up my mind as to what it looks like and what it's supposed to do exactly. this is not something I would go for. I don't think I ever bought a lip palette. If you're a makeup artist, that's a good choice for you, although this one might be a little too small. So yeah, I wouldn't be interested in it, but it looks like a beautiful object. Next up, there's a new eyeshadow quad from Chanel. They're celebrating 100 years of celebrity with their iconic number 5. It includes 4 shimmery shades. There's one in particular, like the light, very light one. It looks pretty, it looks very reflective and with a bit of like different colored pearls in it. I really don't see the point for me and the way I do my makeup. I don't see the point in having a quad with only 4 shimmery shades. So I wouldn't buy it. So we have a brand new makeup line from Valentino. There's a bit of everything. There's foundations in 40 shades. There's also cushion foundation, but if I'm not mistaken, there's only 5 shades of these. There's lipsticks, eyeshadow, glitters, primers, a bunch of stuff. Am I excited about it? I don't know yet. I need to know more about the brand, about the products. My first impression of the packaging, for some reason, that shade of red with those golden accents, I don't really like it. And I love red, but I don't know. There's something about it that looks a little bit tacky. I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anyone. It's just something about it just doesn't sit right with me. That's all I'm gonna say. I can appreciate the fact that right away they're coming out with 40 different foundation shades, at least when it comes to the liquid formula. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna wait and see what some other people think about it, like, you know, influencers that are gonna receive PR packages and see, because who knows, there might be some amazing products within the line, so just wait and see. Next up, we have the Blush Bronzed, which is very difficult to say, made by Mitchell. So they had liquid blushes and they're extending their line with liquid bronzers. So there's 8 shades. I would be interested to try it. Like I said, I want to get more into cream and liquid products, and this, I believe, is available on Beauty Bay, so I might be able to put my hands on this quite easily. And they're not expensive, so yes, I'm definitely curious to try it. We then have from Lunar Beauty, Life's a Drag Facelift. So it's a new eyeshadow palette that is replacing the Life's a Drag palette that released a few years ago. The original palette had 14 shades and now you have 21. I don't know much about the formula. Looking at the swatches, they look very pretty and very pigmented and vibrant. But, you know, swatches, you never know. I do appreciate the way that the palette is displayed. The fact that there's on one side the more like neutral shades, things to do everyday look. So you have a white, a black, a bunch of transition shades. That's great. And then on the other side, you have a bunch of more colorful shades. And then right in the middle, you have just 3 shimmers, a golden one, a gold pink, and a silver one. So the palette in itself makes a lot of sense to me. It's very logical, you know, it's very well organized, and I like that. I wouldn't buy it personally because those very bright colors are not something I see myself using a lot. I have a couple of eyeshadow palettes with bright colors like these, but I feel like what I have is probably enough for me. It looks pretty though, and like I said, the the way the palette looks, love it. Next up, we have the new Core Cosmetics collection by Spectrum Collections. I don't really know much about that brand, so let's find out more. It includes the Pinch Pot, which are cream blushes. See, again, a mascara, a glowful mist, a glowful primer, and I believe that that's it. So yes, like I said before, we'll have to try the cream blushes. Unfortunately, I don't know much about that brand. I don't know exactly where you can find it. But if it was easily available to me, yeah, I think I would like to try it. From KVD Beauty, we have a new eyeshadow palette, the Planet Fanatic palette. It includes 14 shades inspired by the Earth's colors and elements. So you have 8 matte shades and 6 glitter shades, a vegan formula, and the full recyclable packaging. Okay. First of all, speaking of packaging, I very much appreciate the fact that you can recycle the whole thing. It's what they did already with the first palette of their revamp that they launched a few months ago. I don't remember exactly. As much as I appreciate the packaging, there's something about it, like, I don't know if it's the size of the pans or the way they're separated. There's something about this packaging that is not aesthetically pleasing to my eyes. It doesn't matter. I would much rather have a recyclable palette that I'm thinking it looks weird than have a beautiful looking palette that, you know, is just wasteful. Don't get me wrong. I needed to say it because I cannot put my finger on it, but there's something about it that just doesn't look right. Now onto the colors. They look beautiful. There's a green there, a khaki, that looks beautiful. The issue I have with this is that this is a fall palette. If they release this in September, then I will be like, oh yes, I'm right in the mood for that kind of stuff. But it's not even summer yet. We're not even in June. And I understand that brands always want to be the first to release something, and there's such a rush to do everything, and now we talk about Christmas in September. I feel like it's a missed opportunity for them, because by the time it's fall and we actually want to use that kind of colors, we won't even remember it by then. You know what I mean? So the harmony of the palette is beautiful. The colors look nice. It's just the timing is a little off for me. That's it. From e.l.f. we have an addition to the putty primer family, the Acne Fighting Putty Primer. So when e.l.f. came out with their first putty primer, people went nuts about it because, well, not only, but partly because it's a dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer, which I have. I don't have the e.l.f. one. Because it was so successful, they since released, I think, like 4 or 5 different kinds of putty primer. There's a luminous one, there's a matte one, there's a acne fighting one now. So yeah, the fact that it's green is a bit interesting. I don't know if there's any color correcting involved or if it dissipates and blends into the skin. So apparently there's 1.8% salicylic acid in the product, so it might, you know, help indeed fight acne on the long term when you use it. We'll see. We have a new collection from MAC. It is the Botanic Panic Summer 2021 collection. It includes a palette, a highlighter, a blush, and lipsticks. The blush, I can tell you right away, it's way too shiny for my taste. The highlighter looks nice. I already have a couple of MAC highlighters. I like them. The lipsticks look pretty. I mean, we all love a MAC lipstick. I don't know that these colors in particular would be my favorite, but you know. But to me, the star of the show is definitely the eyeshadow palette. It's not every day that I look at a MAC eyeshadow palette and think, oh, wow, oh, that's cute, that's interesting, that's so pretty. I saw this Saturday night and I was like, wait, what? I first saw the picture of only the palette without knowing at first who it was from. And so I watched it and I was like, oh wow, that's pretty. And then I swiped and I saw it was from MAC and I just couldn't believe it. And I love a lot of MAC products, don't get me wrong, but their eyeshadow palettes, I don't know, I never really fall in love with any of these. That one with the pastel colors, yeah, I really, really like it. I don't know yet if it's going to be sold in Belgium. If it is, I'm going to have to stop myself from buying it because I have enough eyeshadow palettes. But yeah, it's very, very pretty. We then have a lip balm set from Kylie Skin. I don't need a lip balm, much less a lip balm set. And I'm really not interested in buying anything from Kylie Skin, no offense. From ColourPop, again, we have new eyeshadow palettes. So you got the Lusk for Dusk with 16 shades, and then you have the High Tide and the Fine Feathered eyeshadow palettes, and they each have 9 shades in them. The Lusk for Dusk looks pretty, a bit more cool toned, which I appreciate, with a touch of pink. It's pretty. Is it anything crazy special? No. The High Tide looks pretty. It looks like a beautiful beach. So they're right on time for summer. The Fine Feathered, yeah, I'm less interested by this one. They look pretty. It's just, if I had to choose a ColourPop eyeshadow palette, I would pick the first one that we saw today. Next up, from Armani Beauty, you have the Melting Color Balm. It's a multi-use color balm in 9 different shades. So I'm guessing you can use this on the eyes, the lips, and the face. I would love to see the texture a bit more up close. Armani Beauty makes beautiful products. There's a few colors in here that look interesting. I would have to wait and have more info on the product itself. Morphe brushes teamed up again with the Trevor Project for Pride 2021. So you have a new eyeshadow palette with 25 shades. It's obviously going to be a very, very bright and colorful palette. That's typically not the kind of palette I would go for, but you know, if it's for a good cause, then it's good. And last but not least, you have the Summer Collection by Lights Lacquer. This is the brand from Kathleen Lights here on YouTube, who I love, by the way. So it includes 6 colors. It will be available June 3rd on their website. That lime green looks very pretty. I'm really looking for pastel nail polishes right now. But yeah, the lime green, even though it's quite intense, I think is pretty, especially for summer if you have a nice tan going on. So that is it for this week's newest releases. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click the like button. You can also click the other button next to it that says subscribe. Why not? It's free. I will see you guys later. Bye.